Alright guys, we're gonna make a video directly about the best thing is an ideal, the right thing is a promise, but it's gonna be doubling down in a very short amount of time into something else I've described as being esthetician slash new type. Why I am one of those or two of those things and not both. Which is both of two. But so yeah, basically the title will be of this video, and it's still gonna be a short video, not too short, but it'll be the best versus right thing, not as the podcast suggested for the Move second episode. For once, not just 2017's references, but even 2021 later on, and after that. But so we'll just basically we'll title this video "The best things I deal, the right things I promise," quote end quote. But why am I really an esthetician and stylist? An esthetician, stylish, new type, as kind of individual, unique or not, something like that. So yeah. Anyways, getting into this. As y'all have heard many times, I'll mention clean type posts in videos and in streams, in shorts and all that like, even on other social media in real life. I'll mention this one quote I made up since the second Move podcast episode in 2021. And there were quotes I made in 2017 that were cool too, but you know. The best thing is an ideal, the right thing is a promise. Why do I say this? Well, let's reference it to the weird, irrelevant, and contrarian aspect of me being an esthetician, new type, a stylish person who just individually thinks he's unique, individual, complex personality. He just does things that feels good, and even when they don't feel good, they still feel, because pain is life. We can always refer to Ice Cold JT as being that subjective, invigorating person we draw strength from. And that's not that we don't draw strength from him. I'm not quoting that to be a jerk or anything like that. I'm saying that because that's how I see subjectivism. When hiding in private describes, I keep talking about this, but when hiding in private describes in his objective or subjective view, I say it's unlisted. If you don't have it already, you have to pay on my Patreon for it. Thank gosh I already had it linked in my second episode, or my first one of Moon Podcast, because don't tell him that I have it without being on his Patreon, because that was the only way I could find it unlisted. I didn't finish it the first time before we put it on Patreon, so that was how I found it. But yeah, don't tell him that. Don't tell Ice Cold JT I have his special episodes from Jordan Green and Bryce Wilson, which he also has unlisted, because I have it on my Kindle without even needing to find the unlisted video. Because that's how unlisted works. You have links unlisted. How do you think I'm going to be able to make the unlisted videos I'll finally enlist for once again for class of insightful learning if I'm not going to even know how that works for other people? That's how I do that shit. Explaining people's secrets while keeping my own. Boo! Nah, boo, Cashman. You know better than that. You don't get to be mysterious if you... No, Cashman. You don't get to be mysterious if everyone else can't be. Okay, anyways. But onto the video. But like... I gotta have fun at some point. There's not too much, right? But onto the video, it's like the esthetician and new type words come from none other than Trixie the Scarlet Witch, who is the transgender version of Digibro. I keep mentioning this woman or man. Digibro has been through a lot of shit in his life. He went from being a semi-popular anime otaku YouTuber to going downhill because he didn't not so much insofar from the two major events in his life where he lost May, his ex-girlfriend that broke up with him, and also became transgender in a way that started down spiral his channel into other things that even went worse, not just concerning YouTube or his otaku anime manga lifestyle, but like there are other things, dramatic things happened over time after the fact, even before that. But it's like, but for the record, Digi's life seemed to down spiral, not just when he was Trixie, but even before, during, and after the fact. And so this neurotyping chart seems like a good saving grace for him, because it does, in a sense, he knew in the moment that it eternalized his wisdom. Because even after the inspired shit that happened in his life that sucked a lot, it's the fact that he created a new type of chart in the first place, let alone the fact that it's related to anime and manga, that makes it so special. So when he created new types and estheticians as categories, I always resonate with those. When he mentions guild lines here in Zen Huxtable as the recommendations for new types particularly, I was already envious because because Zen is a cool guy. Gil's a cool guy. Gil's not a girl, by the way. Gil's a guy. Gil's also a guy, dude. That's right. I used to think Gil's a girl, but whatever. Not compared to like Trixie that had married, I guess. Digibro, but to each their own. But I see Zen and Gil talk in podcasts, and they can clearly and concisely and boldly speak. Whereas when they're already being estheticians and artists and creative people, they're balls to the wall. They can do both. I can only do one of those things at a time, if not both at rare moments. I can only either be creative or communicating properly, not at the same time. It's the blessing in disguise if I can't do that anyways, to make sure that I'm being myself while still changing for the better. And I know I'm being too hard on myself anyways, even if that's not, especially if that's not really true about me. Because if I really have an inner critic, I just don't realize it. But the thing with I'm probably almost not Barry. I'll wrap this up a little soon. But the thing with being a new type, and especially when I made the Deep Doc series, I'm on season 2 right now. By the way, I'm about to make season 2, episode 3 at some point, which is going to be about like a little bit of a life story thing with a bit of a narration and other stuff, but other scenes and B-roll. So if you haven't seen the first 2 episodes of season 2, I recommend you watch them out. Watch out for them. Although season 1, episode 1, and season 2, episode 1, hell, even fucking season 2, episode 2, and season 1, episode 3, those are deep as hell. But you know, and even season 1's episode 8 is really deep as hell. But that's the point. It's not supposed to be an episode narrative in a plot that goes from here to point B. It's its own thing. It will eventually have a story and even have claymation in it. The idea is that, by the way, one more thing I'll say about Deep Docs before I move on is that Deep Docs season 3 will have claymation more legitimately. 4 will have claymation throughout the entire season. Season 2 will have at least 1 or 2 episodes in claymation, hopefully. We're hoping for 1 or 2 episodes of claymation, if at least one solid episode of claymation completely done in season 2. Because season 3 will be probably like 25-30% or 50%. Season 4, the whole season. I promise. And season 5, if we even get that far, it'll have claymation 2D and 3D and stop motion in other ways, formats, including paper cut and sans. It's gonna be incredible. You're gonna love the live action scenes too, by the way. But yeah, as a new type and as a esthetician, whether I'm stylish or deep and philosophical, and calling philosophy abstract when philosophy is abstract in itself. So whenever I call it abstract philosophy, it's a little weird. What do I mean by being stylish, invigorating, and adamantium qualities from X-Men's Wolverine, and having these truly invigorating ways to live life, drawing strength from Ice Cold JT in a subjective way, whereas people like Digibro, who are more objective in their own right, not only objective, like Ice Cold JT is not only subjective, and Trixie the Witch, or formerly Digibro, she's not only objective, but when hiding in private describes the objective versus subjective dichotomy better than I could in this Crucial Saga. If you've seen the Crucial Saga, it's split between all 4 of my alt channels on YouTube. Crosswind, if this one's still called Tony Cashman, but this one's currently called Tony Cashman right now. The other Tony Cashman I have, and then the private Tony, so like that's the personal Tony Cashman. This is the current Crosswind Tony Cashman channel, main channel, and then there's Marchcroft, aka Sarah26, and Diggs, Dear Single Gold Spinner. Between the 4 of those, I uploaded the Cursor Saga, which is a series about my thoughts on subjective versus objective pros and cons, kind of like how gratitude and narcissism was discussed in one hour-long video, and the pros and cons of each gratitude and narcissism. And that was one of my deeper videos anyways, compared to the Cursor Saga 4 videos. But the reason why I describe these things as being either invigorating or truthful, in reality objectively based, and patiently as subjectively based, is that that's who I embody as Tony Cashman. Is someone who spent maybe the first 13 years of his life being too forced into urgency and objectivism, then the other 13 forced into contextless subjectivism. Whenever I criticize either Buddhism or judgment of facts, it's not so much that I don't want to ever trust any of the wisdom I have, or even never explore for a legitimate fun reason anymore. It's like, I can have adventures for fun reasons, even if that's not subjective. I can have real wisdom that I don't debate with, even if it's not meant to be objective. Okay, there's a way to do that. Who really is the essence of Anthony Barr Cashman here, though? Is he just someone who thinks he wants to be the most important person of all time because he doesn't understand himself? Or in spite of understanding himself, he knows that he can truly have fun and understand and learn as per experiencing and adventuring. It does not mean I don't know how to live. It doesn't mean I haven't tried anything new. It doesn't mean I have failed. It's a different way to live life. I'm just one person in this almost 9 billion human being filled earth. Just trust the process. It is all good. No one's your enemy. The best thing is an ideal. The right thing is a promise. Why I'm an esthetician and new type Inspired being invigorated, whether things are truly objective or subjective. Tony Cashman, guys, cartooning, strategy, and philosophy, which other way around that. But yeah, we're going to end this at literally 10:11. So, now the news, no end card for this, not even later. And yeah, celebrating almost 100 videos. 800 videos, okay.